This is Stronger Than My Father with Marcus Menace.
Welcome to another episode of Stronger Than My Father podcast. I am your host, Marcus Menace Sr. Many of you have asked, what is Stronger Than My Father podcast? This podcast is to bring more awareness centered around the topic of fatherhood because we have an issue and a pandemic about fatherless. I have to thank, first of all, my producer, Mr. Jim McCarthy and Jim McCarthy Voiceovers. So if you need any voiceover work done, check him out. I also have to thank our production team led by Renee Jones for all the setup that you see around me to make this podcast special. I have a special guest for this episode, another Weiss Creek classmate, and I cannot believe that we're hitting on 30 years. This morning I was walking around the house and I said, how in the heck I've been out of school for almost 30 years? And I looked at myself and I said, am I getting old? So I would like to thank Miss Felicia Reed-Kidd for coming on. Thank you for coming on. She is an educator with Metro Public Schools that's going to bring us a lot of knowledge of what's going on in our school system as we prepare to go back to school in 2 weeks. Can't believe that. Where did the summer go? So welcome. Thank you to have from the show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. First of all, don't tell anyone else we've been out. Because I'm only 35 years old. So
well, if you're 35, then I'm 30. I'm 34 or something. Jesus, it's been almost 30 years.
30 years next June.
And we've been out of school. I think you posted on Facebook the day we graduated, and I almost broke down. I almost broke down, and I said, where did time go? Where did time go? Well, but I am thankful you to be a guest and coming on and give me some knowledge on what you see in the school system, what you see from the girls, and what you see from young men. As you know, I'm an advocate for fighting for the fatherless. If you've seen some of my work of mentorship, trying to help these boys who don't have a dad have a shot at a better life. So give my audience a brief bio about yourself so they'll know who is Miss Felicia Reed-Kidd is.
All right, so I am Felicia Reed-Kidd. I am a native Nashvilleian and a product of Metro Nashville Public Schools. Like he said, I'm a 1994 graduate of the Weiss Creek Comprehensive High School.
There we go, the creek.
I have been in education for about 23, 25 years in different capacities. I'm a graduate of Alabama A&M University, the best HBCU in the country. Don't try to argue. Argue with your mama. Don't argue with your mama. Okay. I'm also a graduate of Tennessee State University as well as Lipscomb University. And it's time for me to go back. So if anybody out there want to go ahead and pay for that
doctoral,
I'm halfway there. If you want to help pay for it, I got the EDS. I just need to finish up.
Hey, somebody want to sponsor?
Please.
We'll put a link on the bio to give us some money to get that doctoral because she deserves it. Up.
But I have literally taught every grade K through 12.
Oh, wow.
I started off in special ed. My EDS is in ELL, English Language Learners. And I think middle school is my favorite.
Okay.
But currently, I'm going into my third year as a classroom management specialist, supporting all high schools. And I just inherited 8 elementary schools that I will support teachers with this year. And that role has opened my eyes to a lot.
What have your eyes been open to from seeing our kids for 24 years, growing up, maybe fatherless or have a kid? What are some of the struggles you see of our kids learning in Metro Public Schools? Because sometimes Metro Public Schools get a bad rap. I want to send my kid to a private. I want to send them charter. I'm not sending them to public school. My son's in high school, and we was like, we're not sending him over to this high school, and I'm not going to bash him on the radio, but I should be able to send my kid to a normal public high school. I went to a public high school. So what have you seen over the years just from kids and their development in Metro Public Schools?
I mean, our students are behind. We were behind before the pandemic.
Okay.
But I want people to know that the teachers in Metro Public Schools, they work hard.
Okay.
Do you have some bad teachers? Yes, just like you have some bad police officers, bad nurses, bad doctors. We have, that's a personal thing, people issue. Is not Metro Public Schools. You have some phenomenal teachers that go over and beyond, spend their own money. I mean, up hours, countless hours, trying to work with kids, trying to mentor. Then you have some that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
They're there for a paycheck. That's reality.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that. We can't say that's a Metro Public School problem. That's a national problem.
Mm-hmm.
But our kids, it's a little different.
Okay.
It's a little different. I don't know what happened in this pandemic. I'm not a psychologist. I can only say what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to be a teacher now.
Mm.
I'm blessed to be out the classroom.
Wow.
I hate to say that. I really support, but some of the issues they're doing, we're dealing with because it's coming from the home.
Okay.
Everything is not from the home, because the number one influence on academic learning is a teacher's classroom management. A lot of people don't understand that, because your kids are with us and more.
Okay.
So that's what I do. We're trying to build strong classroom managers.
Okay.
Okay, so we can have some influence on kids. You've had influence on students right outside of their parents, so we know we can.
Mm-hmm.
But we're having a lot of issues because it's coming from the home. You take my daughter, for instance. She's 21 now.
Mm-hmm.
College student. Just moved back home. I was a single mother until my husband and I got together.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know her father not being there was affecting her until she was about 17 or 18.
Wow.
And she started asking questions. Well, why he didn't want me? Why he spend time with them? Why is he over there? And then I'm finding female, you see it on TV that they're looking for love
In the wrong places.
in the wrong places because they're missing that father's love.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't recognize that because my daddy was my everything.
Yeah.
That really was my first love. That was my hero. Like, I'm mad he gone now, and that was in my 40s when I lost my dad. Like, what? I can't imagine not growing up without him. With him.
Wow.
That was my everything. Like, if I needed something, anything, my husband had a hard time dealing with me because my daddy taught me everything. I can change the tire. I cut my grass. He know exactly how I cut my grass. I know how I wanted my husband. I need to do it. You know what you're doing. And a lot of people feel like that's not a good thing for a woman to have a father to have taught her that, because that means I'm not submissive or I'm not, you know, then that's a whole nother story.
Well, he taught you what you're supposed to do as a wife. Mm-hmm. He taught you everything you need to know. And my sister's the same boat. My sister was trained by my dad to do everything she needs to do. So I don't think that was issue. I think your dad did his job.
I think my dad knew that fathers were absent, husbands were absent.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to not have or be able to take care of yourself because a man decides to not be there.
So with your daughter not growing up without her father, did he try to build a relationship with her even up to now, or just said, I don't want to have nothing to do with her?
When she was 6 months old, he came back to town. He came to see her. That was his first time seeing her. Mm-hmm. And we were in a relationship for like 3 years. And I saw what his other girls had been going through.
So he kept repeating the cycle.
I told him, make a decision, in or out. But you can't do this flip-flopping like you're doing to them. Mm-hmm. He made the decision to be out. And guess what? I respected that. I ain't mad. My daughter will tell you, I don't talk bad about him. I don't say anything that, nope. Mm-hmm. She didn't hear anything about it. We just want a topic of conversation. Mm-hmm. But when I tell you, because I'm a part of a church, I have a strong family. She did not have a lack of a male role model in her life. My dad, my brother, other people. But it's still not like your daddy.
Not like your daddy. I tell people all the time, it's nothing like my father. And thank God my dad's still around. Still work hard, still cut grass. I don't know if you remember me cutting grass in high school and stuff. You don't remember me ever cutting grass? People used to make fun of me in high school. I don't want to bring up old stuff.
They made fun of you for cutting grass?
Heck yeah, man. I used to be ashamed of that.
Let me tell you something.
I used to be ashamed. I didn't really understand fatherhood until MJ was born. From high school, you wouldn't realize this, even now, that I was a bad child. I didn't show it out in school, but I was ashamed to cut grass for my daddy because kids made fun of me. And let me tell you this story, and I want to get back to you because I don't want it to be about me. Is that my son was like 6, 7 years old, and God said, go apologize to your daddy. And I found my dad cutting grass over off of, he was cutting grass somewhere near Haynes Garden. And I told him that. I said, man, I'm sorry for being a knucklehead son. And he said, I knew you would figure it out when you became a dad. And I broke down. I did not realize that. I was ashamed. Because, in high school, you wanted to be popular, you wanted to be this, and I was ashamed of my dad. I was ashamed of my dad cutting grass with him. And I was ashamed. So from that freshman to like senior, No one knew that, but out of 3 boys, I was the worst one. Out of 3 boys, and I'm the one now giving back and trying to help serve the fatherless. And me and my dad, we have a strong bond right now. We really, really close. And he'd already prepared me. He said, if something happened to me, this is what you're supposed to do. So mentally, I'm prepared. But do I want to lose him? No, because that's like that's the only man really I fully trust is my dad. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing about me. But I want to get back to you and your daughter and the fatherless. Have your daughter really did she ever reconcile with her dad?
No.
Why not?
She's angry.
Okay.
But now she will express that she's angry.
Okay.
Like he may text her out the blue, or he may something. She'll be like, Mom, look at this mess. But the only thing I've ever told her, because I believe, honestly, that mother, don't disrespect him, don't say anything. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You can love from a distance. Because that's what if he loves you, he did it from a distance.
Yeah.
It's okay. But she has a semi-relationship with her sisters because I made sure that was going to happen.
Okay, got it.
I made sure they were going to know each other. I never stopped. I always had them in our lives because it's not their fault that this man made that decision. I think he feels it.
Yeah.
I think he regrets it.
Yeah.
But that fuels her. And I hate that she had that kind of fuel. I'm going to show you. I'm going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people do that. To throw it back in your face. And I married a wife who grew up without a father. And my mother grew up without her father. But my dad told me everything I was going to have to deal with because of my mom. And he said, when you go through this is what you do because it's going to happen. And sure enough, some of it popped up. And I knew what to do without getting mad, or without arguing, without fussing. And he told me that. Until this day, my wife didn't really reconcile with her dad until my oldest was born. And I told her, you may agree, this may not. I said, you have a moral obligation for your dad to know his grandson. And I said, if he never calls him or speak to him, he needs to know he has a grandson through you. And she wrote him a long letter and let all her emotions out. And she was able to do that. So the thing of it is that she allowed that pain to go through that. And we did a podcast together. But for your daughter now and through her development, did it cause her to make a lot of mistakes, or were you that stern mom to be sure she didn't make a lot of mistakes growing up?
I wasn't a helicopter mom.
Now,
okay.
what is a helicopter mom?
I was a helicopter mom, but I was a hidden helicopter. I was a South Carolina helicopter propeller. They make a lot of noise, so you didn't know I was a helicopter mom.
Okay.
But I controlled who she hung with to her friends to a certain extent. She didn't realize, but she wasn't allowed to go stay other places.
Okay.
Everybody could come to my house.
Oh, okay.
I knew y'all safe here. So I don't know what's going on there, so you're not going.
Okay.
So my house was the house that all her friends came to.
Okay.
Everybody called me Mama Felicia.
Okay.
I was that person. Dates, don't worry about it. You ain't got to sneak off. Tell them to come over here.
Yeah.
Because I know what kids do, and being in the school system didn't help. So I can see what, your mind. So I welcomed you to come to me so you don't have to try to sneak. Now, did she sneak? Of course.
No.
That's life. If they didn't, I think I would be concerned. What's wrong with you?
She didn't sneak out the house, did she?
She probably has. I'm sure she has.
Oh, wow. I don't know what I have to do.
She tells me more now. In fact, she tells me too much. Then her friends
You don't want to go out there now.
Her friends call, Mama, so-and-so want to talk to you. Listen. Huh?
Wow.
And I have to suck it up and act like it's not. And then she laughing because she knows it's killing me on the inside.
Let me ask you this. Was it hard, before you got married, was it hard being a single mom, working, providing for a child? Don't know if you was getting child support, but was it hard being a single mom trying to develop a daughter?
Man, listen, I had to move back home with my parents. Not ashamed to say, I've had to move back home. I was blessed to have parents who had to keep my kids. Because y'all know the price of daycare?
Yeah.
Is a killer. I had to get food stamps and family first when I first started, even as a teacher, because we really weren't getting paid back then. You know what I mean? So teachers weren't making a lot of money. I had to get a lot of support. I have a big family. I'm blessed that I had support. Okay. I'm lucky. Okay. When I went back to school, my daughter's 9 months old. That's when I went back to get my master's because I wanted better for her. So that's when I had to start making decisions on what I wanted her to do.
Okay.
And I was trying to push her. And sometimes I think we push so much that I wasn't allowing her to make her own choices and identity. And then when I would try to, sometimes I feel like I should have let her make that choice. Like I didn't want her to go to White Creek. We bragging about our school. I love White Creek. We Cobras. Schools aren't the same as they used to be. My daughter's a 2020 graduate. I didn't want her
of White Creek? Oh, wow.
I didn't want her to go to White Creek. She would tell you, I begged her. We would have worked 2 jobs. I want her to go to a private school.
And she made the choice to go to high school?
She said, Mama, I'm going to be good wherever I go. I'm not influenced. And that really is her mentality.
Wow.
When I've had teachers and subs tell me, Trinity is different.
Yeah.
But I exposed her to everything. I didn't hide things.
Okay, got it.
I didn't hide things. I felt like I'm a single mom. I got to be real. I couldn't coddle her all the time because I knew somebody has to keep you.
Yeah.
Somebody else has to watch you. So I can't. Don't nobody want to keep a screaming, crying baby.
Wow.
So she's very personable. Well,
like I said, my kid can't go to White Creek. And my wife's in the studio. She'll tell you he go to White Creek.
Now White Creek's turning around though. You're not gonna say how old is your son?
My son's 14. If it was me, I would let him out. You know, you want a son to kind of follow your footsteps, but that ain't gonna work. So I would.
But it's not necessarily always the schools.
Yeah.
Where I live, I live across the street from my mom.
Oh wow.
So I'm still in the area. Still in the neighborhood. I teach. I taught in the area.
Yeah.
So I'm really that neighborhood teacher. I'm really in the neighborhood. I know the kids. They know who I am. Okay. Literally. True story. I had neighbors, because all my neighbors are older. They the ones I grew up with. Calling my phone, Felicia, it's about 15, 16 black boys in your yard. They were hiding behind trees, cars, everything. I messed up and beat the buses home, and they saw where I live. I'm considered the meanest nice teacher.
I can see that.
They were plotting, who gonna go knock on the door? I'm telling y'all, that's where Miss Kidd live. That's where Miss Kidd live. Go knock on the door. I came out that door, and I scanned. I see them hiding. I picked up the biggest stick. I'm chasing kids down the street laughing. They knew who I lived. They were glad to know where I live. Wow. Then I had kids move across the street from me. Build relationships. Because I can tell you this. The biggest thing any teacher needs to do is build relationships. Our kids are breaking in cars. That's a big thing. My car got broken into 4 months ago. Yeah, I had AirPods in there. There was some cash money in there. There was 2 winning scratch-off tickets in there. They went through it. All that was left, you could see where they trashed everything looking. Guess what they pulled out was flipped over? My teacher ID. They left it all. My husband like, man, I said,
they left. Hold up. They left all your stuff. I said, they saw my ID.
Those are my kids that broke in this car. It was kids that didn't know that was my house. I said, look.
They respected you that much not to take your stuff. Away. Wow.
He said, oh, they were looking for guns. They probably were, but you ain't finna leave no cash. You're not gonna leave them AirPods. That's cash. That's money. You're not finna leave those winning scratch-out tickets. My ID had came out and it was flipped over. Wow. With my picture. I said, they saw my ID.
Wow, that's
they knew who it was. Because if you're respectful to the kids and you treat them like they're human, they will respect you. Yeah. They're not going to be the best. I'm not saying they drove me crazy, but high blood pressure and everything, they stress me out. Yeah. But I have real conversations with them. Listen, when y'all robbing, y'all remember that pink house on that street right there? Y'all know, don't skip that one. Then one across the street's my mama. Don't go to that one either. Y'all leave them cars alone. I literally talk to kids like that in the school. Let me know what's happening. If something finna pop off, tell me.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing. And I want to get to these girls. But what's making these boys want to break in the cars? And is it no? And be straight with me. Is it no dads teaching them? My dad didn't teach. And I know me and you grew up similar. Both had good dad. What's making these boys do this stuff? You showed me a photo before we went on air. Kids that you know shooting and doing crime. What is it? Is it not dad stepping up, helping raise their kids, or dads are there and kids just want to do what they want to do, or is it social media? Okay, what is it?
Let's be real. We live in Nashville, Tennessee. We can't afford to live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's hard. Work every day. You can't afford to live here. And then you want nice things. And our kids are dying by facade. You're seeing what everybody else have.
Got it.
You're seeing this through social media, and you want these things. When I have boys, even when I go into the JDC, when I have boys looking at me telling me, I can make $500, $600, $700 a day or more in 3 hours, stealing your gun out your car, robbing you real quick, and then I'm at home chilling, and I'm on the Xbox, I'm on the PS5 for the rest of the day chilling while you out here busting your butt every day to work. I can make this in a few hours. What do you tell that kid? My mama's struggling. We're hungry, but I can go out here in 3 hours, get the money, feed my mama, and our lights not gonna be off. And you telling me to go to school, work hard, and you're a college graduate, you're a teacher, and you struggling. I go into JDC, I had boys tell me I'd rather live 25 years and kick it and have everything I want than struggle for 70.
Wow.
What do you tell that kid?
I don't know.
My mama can't afford to put Jordans on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I can go out here and make one hit, and I can buy Jordans for all my siblings.
And they don't care if they lose their life or anything.
No. They're not afraid. And that's why I'm afraid, because they really aren't afraid. You can talk to these girls, single moms. Where's the baby dad? He at work. What do you think work is? They have TikToks about that.
Whoa.
Robin.
Wow.
They make TikToks. They bragging about this. He's out. He at work. That's his job. He gonna go out 3-4 hours and he gonna get that money. So I'm gonna get my hair did. My nails did, as they would say. You know how much it costs to get a sew in now? And to buy some wig? What about a wig and saw?
I don't even know that neither.
Now you explain to me, in our SOI schools and our schools that are really poverty stricken, and these girls are wearing $300 lace front wigs on their head.
These are kids in school?
These kids in school.
Wow.
Explain to me. I can't go get these $300 lace front wigs and get them in. And that's not the install. That's just buying the hair, $300-$400.
I didn't even know hair costs that much. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I guess I have boys, so.
So
yeah.
Now imagine you have a daughter and she wants that too. That's why my daughter learned how to make wigs and do makeup. She's a hustler. But if she's wearing it and so on, so I had girls tell me, why are you doing this? If you got it and I want it, I'm going to take it.
Now, do you think a lot of this is stem for that dad not being there to provide for the family?
Oh, that's been a systematic issue. Dads aren't there to provide. Moms are having to work 2 and 3 jobs, so they're not there to be that backbone that they are in the household if they're out. So there's no dad and they're out. The kids are raising themselves.
Well, let me tell you something that baffled me. I went to Antioch Middle last year, and I spoke to a group of 8th graders. And the first question I asked them was, how many of y'all are on TikTok? And during that, the whole class raised their hand. And I sit there and my mouth dropped. I have a 14-year-old. He has no cell phone, no social media. And they looked at me. They said, what about his friends? Why won't you let him be social? They were going off on me in the classroom, 8th graders. So the dad rides up in me. Like, his friends at home. You don't need no TikTok. He don't need to be. My job is protect them. That's my job, protect them. So let me ask you this then. Why are parents giving kids these cell phones at such an early age when we say cyberbullying and all this stuff is on the phone? So as a parent, why would I give my kids something that somebody could be bullying them on? And because these cell phones ain't cheap. They $75-$80 a month. And we're like, we got money for that. So why do you think these parents are giving these kids these cell phones so early and then they're on social media at an early age?
One, you have that mentality of, well, not my child. My child not going to do that.
Okay.
That's one issue.
Okay.
Not my child. My kids have had cell phones since they were in 2nd grade. Safety thing, though. Single mom. Trinity used to have to come in the house, and she had to be in the house by herself about 30, 45 minutes. She knew how to come in, set the alarm. But guess what? I had to make sure. She had a phone. Even in the job I am now, my husband's schedule, my schedule, LJ's an athlete. I got coaches. We need to pick LJ up. He got to get there. If we can't get there, I need to know where he is at all time. I got to be able to track him, call him. But also because of my schedule, my husband's schedule, I'm training. There are times I have to leave out. I have to be at the training facility by 7 a.m. LJ bus not coming until 7:45. He's a boy. I don't know about your boys. LJ has left my door wide open a million times, just running out to get on that bus.
Yeah.
I got to call. LJ, you up? Did you brush teeth? Did you do this? Be on the phone with me when you walking out the door. Close my door, LJ. That's why he had to have a phone. Then when I'm getting off and I need to get to him. But a lot of our kids have their parents' cell phone or theirs. This is their only lifeline because they're having to pick up their siblings.
Okay.
The mom is working 2 jobs. I need to make sure y'all got in the house 'Cause most people don't have landlines in the house anymore.
No, it's over.
So I need to make sure you've got your siblings. I need to make sure you're all in the house. I got to be able to contact you.
I got it.
I'm gonna tell you something else.
Okay.
I don't have time. I'm stressed out. I don't want to be bothered. So guess what? You're not gonna bother me if you what?
On your cell phone.
See, that's part that a lot of parents gonna get mad at me. It's the truth. Same with the tablet.
Yeah.
Look how many kids. You seen some 2-year-olds on tablets?
Yeah.
They can work that tablet better than we can.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You're not gonna bother me if I put that in your face.
Well, my boys got their tablets right now.
So it's no different than a cell phone. And they slick enough to know how you think they ain't got social media. You think kids don't have this and that, and parents who think they don't, and they just slipped it in.
Now, if I seen my son pitch on Facebook, I would lose it.
Listen, they smart.
I would.
My friend, my hairstyle.
What?
She made him no social media. Made him remove everything. She got herself. He didn't know she had it connected to her phone where numbers popped up with his phone. That boy done had about 5-6 Instagrams. He be thinking he's slick. He changed the name. He don't put his picture. He put a cartoon up. Slipped in. She's like, wait a minute, is that? He done got another one.
Them kids, and that shocked me when I was at Antioch Middle, and them kids told me that. That shocked me. Now, I know I live like kind of a hermit. I do. I don't want to, expose. People tell me that if you are too protective over your kids, that they're not exposed to stuff. And my parents, we didn't get exposed to a lot of stuff growing up. My mom told me at 18, you're going to see a lot of stuff that we didn't teach you. But if you go to jail, don't call us. That's all. That was my 18th talk. That was it. Now go out there and see the world. So when the world is shocked to living daylights out of me, but when I see young kids sending me friends requests, and I'm like, on Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, why do you even have a cell phone? So when I look on TV and they see people being bullied and people killing themselves over TikTok and everything else, don't be on there. It's just me, and I could be sounding so ignorant right now, but I'm like, I'm a person that I try to eliminate problems. So if it's going to be a problem, I try not to deal with it. So I'm not going to put my kid on social media. He's 14, going to high school, and I don't want him on no social media. I want him. I'm debating now about him having a cell phone.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Don't be naive. Don't be mad.
All right.
Your kid listens to you, right? He loves mom and dad, right?
Yeah.
Y'all is big in influence. He finna go to high school.
Mm-hmm.
You think you still gonna have that much of influence? Who has more influence on him?
I better.
Do you really believe you're gonna have more influence on him than his peers? Who he has to face, because truth doesn't matter. What did I just tell you?
Yeah, you said move up to the mic a little bit.
They're with us more. They're in the school building. He's gonna be in that school building more than you. It's gonna become. This is just reality. What you say means nothing. My 10-year-old son is a hell of an athlete. His daddy played college ball. His mom has coached in no sports. But we don't know what we're talking about. Other people, it's a certain age that other people know more than mom and daddy.
I cannot.
So I don't want your feelings hurt.
No.
Because it's going to happen. Because you think.
Here's the thing. I want to protect him at all costs. That's just my life. That's my job. I want to protect him. He's seen some bad stuff at his previous school. Even said some foul languages that we had to talk to him about because he heard somebody else say it. So when I was seeing the kids, because I took him to school just about every day. So when I would just see the kids interact and stuff, I would sit there until a teacher come out. I would never leave my son. And that's just me. But now with 4 years left before he turns 18, I'm like nervous. What do I do? Is he going to be okay when he turns 18 and he goes on his own? It's just a part of me where I'm nervous now.
Have you taught him to rely on other people too besides you? Can he rely? Now honestly, life is short. What if you drop dead today? Who does he turn to?
His mama.
Okay, but you said the father figures are gone.
You're right.
He needs a male. I think you drop dead today. Does he know how to seek out that wisdom from other men?
I think he's attached to. I think he's attached to my pastor. My pastor couldn't raise him because he's busy. I thought about that.
You're a helicopter dad.
Whoa! I cannot be a helicopter dad. I have to protect him. Felicia, in my mind, every day I wake up, I figure out how do I protect them.
You can.
Both of my boys, every day. And my wife, I get on her nerves because I be like, are you at work? Are you safe? You all right? It's like, here's the thing. I don't want to deal with a lot of problems. So I always try to find ways to try not to deal with it. But I think just being a father now it's like it's ingrained in me to protect them. And if I don't, he wants a cell phone. He thought he was gonna get one for Christmas. He got mad because we didn't have a cell phone for him. He really wants one, but I don't want him to start dabbling in social media.
I understand.
I don't want him to do that.
Who says he's not doing it on the tablet?
I swear to God, so he's on that tablet. He won't have a tablet no more.
He can do it on the TV.
No, I don't think he'll do that.
You don't. I'm telling you, it's too many.
Wow.
First of all, they have electronics at school.
Yeah.
They have access to everything. So if anything, I would rather be the one, like I told you with my daughter.
Yeah.
I want to be the one to introduce you. I want to be protected. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
Never have been.
Mm-hmm.
You give me a shot right now, y'all gonna laugh at me. I'm on the table. Trinity was finna go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Shots around the table. I need to see how you gonna act when you take a shot. Cause you finna leave. You finna go to a HBCU. You about to walk away from. Ain't I can't even front. I know what happens on the HBCU campus. So go ahead and take your shot. And that heifer took that shot better than me. I'm over here coughing, choking, trying to get something. And she done taken it late. Wait a minute. What is going on? Hold up. We can't protect them from everything, no matter how much we want. And then how are they going to learn if they're not in life situations? And that's the problem we're having with our kids, especially our girls. They cannot handle the lemons life throwing at them. They can't take these lemons and make lemonade. So they take these lemons back and throwing them harder. They don't know how to take them.
Because of what? No dad?
I'm going to tell a story.
Okay.
I hope Trinity going to see this. She's going to get mad. My daughter went to college. First year. She's dating a guy. True story. And I'm not going to cry. I ain't like the guy. You know how we are. But if you have to know how girls are.
I don't know.
If I tell you not to do something,
they gonna want to do it.
You're going to go do it. So I'm going to encourage. I'm going to push stuff. I don't know. You want to think about this? I don't know if I like this boy too much. I ain't going to say that. Just, okay, well, bring him around. Let's see. I just had a feeling about this boy. Well, long story short, he evidently broke up with a girl to date my daughter. And this girl didn't handle that very well. My daughter's boyfriend was shot 6 times in front of her while she was held down, and the ex-girlfriend set it up.
Dang.
Because she couldn't handle the rejection.
Did the boy die?
No.
Oh, okay.
But my daughter ended up having to drive him to the hospital, rush, and gets pulled over by police. She's still new in the city. She don't know how to get to the hospital, so she don't even know where she's going. But luckily, because police reports have been called for the shots, they saw her fleeing the scene. So
they thought it was her.
They pulled over. He's bleeding out 6 times. If she wouldn't have started, he probably would have, because he was hit in this wrist and hit a major artery where he was bleeding out so bad. The boy was shot. Found out the girlfriend set it up. And what hold she had on these 2 guys that she could convince them to do that for her, because she was mad. That same week that happened to my daughter, another girl got upset because her boyfriend was cheating on her. She catches his car on fire on campus, which causes a big. Now you done messed your life up. You out of school. You getting charged. You know, like, that's just a couple of stories I can tell on the girls. I mean, from this understanding from Carly Roth, the girl in Alabama, so over a boy. Like, these girls are not handling rejection. But why are we trying to protect them from real life? We need to prepare them for real life. Just like our son, you can't protect him from everything. His heart is going to get broken. Because when he starts smelling himself and start looking at these girls, somebody's going to break his heart.
Well, what if I tell him?
You can tell him whatever you want to tell him until you experience it.
Yeah.
Yourself. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you, it's to the point you don't know everything. Daddy don't know what he's talking about. Daddy don't know, because she cute. And when she come near me and I like how that feel, Daddy don't know what he talking about. They got to learn. And we want to protect them, and we want to keep them from learning, because we already been through it. Didn't your dad tell you not to do something that you did?
Little. Not a lot. That's the truth. Not a lot. Why my wife looking at me? You put a mic.
Because she's making the same face I'm making, like, you got to be real.
Things he told me to do, there are some things he told me to do that I had to, and I'm telling the truth, I'm not making this, I had to really remember what he told me to do. He told me some things financially not to do, and I made financial mistakes. For his women, he trained me a different way, and he trained me not to love hard. He trained me to not to love hard, because women can break your heart. So don't love hard. So if they break your heart, you don't do nothing stupid. Like you said with these other girls. He trained me that way at 18. And that had an effect on me. because I never really loved hard. That was just a problem that I have, probably still have to today, because what I was so close to Dad, like whatever his words said, it stuck to me. Now
you finna experience heartbreak then.
No, I hope not. I've been married 22 years.
No,
so,
you're gonna experience it from your son. Because
no,
you just said that, because what my dad said, this is it. So then you expect your son to say what my dad said, and when he don't, it's gonna crush you.
Well, he's kind of like that now. We'll say, okay, this is what Dad said. This is Daddy. This is my dad. He's 14, and he's really. I didn't really know that he hovers around me a lot. Even now, he said, "Dad, you about to do the podcast? I'm going with you." I said, "No, I'll stay with your mom." He was hurt. He wanted to be with Dad. My whole thing with fatherhood, and I clearly know, Felicia, that he's going to see things that he probably didn't see at home. And my job, my mom told me, your job is to train him and have him ready at 18. She said, that's your job. And I have 4 more years to help him. And I know my wife going to get mad at me saying this. My son is autistic. And that bothers me. And I think because of that problem, I feel like I have to do more to protect him. I feel like I have to do everything in my power to protect him from people, because I know how people operate. So I just feel that inside of me where I know he's gonna get hurt. I know he's gonna have some issues. But as a dad, I just don't want nothing to happen to him. And he's the one, my little one, I feel like he's gonna be all right. He just wild. And my mom said that's the little version of you, and God's getting back at you, because how you treated us as a kid. And I said, well, he gonna be on the mid card. He keep messing with me, but being a father is just one of the jobs I feel like I need to do. And I think when I see, and we talked about this briefly this week, is that when I see girls just wilding out and acting up, and I know you're gonna tell me this is a whole different breed of girls. My sister had I guess because I'm so old school, where I seen how my dad raised my sister. And I see now, when I see these girls acting up and fighting and doing all these things, I always just ask, where's the daddy? And I know we live in a society where it's not there. I just did a single podcast where you have 1 out of 4 homes have a daddy. But who's there now? Who's going to help our girls now? I know you told me about looking at doing mentorship for girls. And I'm like, that's not my lane. What can we do now as we wrap this podcast up? What can we do now to help our girls? I don't mind saying black girls. These are the girls you see in the inner city schools. And what can we do now more than ever to protect our girls and help guide them to be that you're beautiful? You ain't got to go have no baby at 13, 14 years old. What can we do now?
One thing is we need mentorship from men and women,
okay,
all ethnicities. Females are, I'm just being real, females are stupid when it comes to men. I don't know what happened if we all were dropped on our head. When it comes to a man, they're stupid. So guess what? Women can come out and tell females, you shouldn't be this way, you should dress like this, you should do this. And they might listen to a man saying it better than a female. I'm going to say something that my daughter told me. One of her best friends, he died recently. He died in December. Handsome young man. But one thing he told her one day was, no matter how many times I said, keep your room clean, this and that, he said, Trent, if I see a girl with a nasty room, that means I think her poom poom stink. She can't keep her room clean. I don't care how many times I said, you need to keep your room clean, you need to do this. It took this male to say this, and she responded.
Wow.
So men really can't. Just like I feel like a woman can be a good mentor to a man, to boys. I think it takes all of us. Because no matter how we say it, this is not a new thing. Women have been raising men forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
I agree with that.
And they've produced presidents and doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
We've done it. Could they have been stronger? If fathers, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it takes all of us. So if a man can start a mentorship for females, they need it, because our females are losing their mind. I don't watch Housewives. I started off watching it. I don't watch Basketball Wives and all that, because I'm seeing this and I'm thinking,
that's what them girls are watching.
That's what they watching.
Yeah.
That's what they emulating. That's who they want to dress like. They don't understand. See, this is real Housewives, so it's supposed to be real, right? So this is real life. And these women are acting this way but they living it large. They are known. They have the money. They got the clothes. They have the hair.
Tried to tell the wife that.
All.
Told her it was fake.
That's what I want, and it's not real.
It's not real. I tried to tell her.
Our kids are dying by facade.
Yeah.
They believe that is real. So myself coming in as a teacher saying this, and that, because they watch us too. Yeah. If I come in with a bad headache, ooh, Miss Kidd, what's going on? You struggling? Let me come in and look. Okay, I see them shoes. They are watching us physically more than anything.
Let me ask you this one question. Do you think metro schools need more black male teachers there?
Man, we need a whole lot of male teachers.
Do you think that would make a difference in kids' attitudes in classrooms?
Yes.
If I walked in the classroom and I'm like, look, we're going to do this, you think these kids going to, like, if I went to a hardcore inner city school and I came in with my mentality, will they try to attack me?
If they know your heart is real. They know a phony. I'm told you I'm the meanest nice teacher. They will tell you in a minute, don't play with her, she crazy. I walk in these high schools now of kids that I taught in first and second grade, and when we first went back in the pandemic, they're trying to get kids keep their mask up. True story. I walked in one high school, turned the corner, all these kids are pulling their mask up. Kids who didn't know me start pulling their mask up, and they well, who was that? Who was that? Oh, that's Miss Reed, man. She don't play. Now here's the thing: when I turned the corner, what happened?
They took it right back down. Yeah.
But they had enough respect for me to know that she don't play with us. But that's because they knew my heart. I love you. It's almost like, Mom, I love you, but I am not your friend, and they know I'm not your friend. But if you come in there, you have to butter them up before you slice them up.
Oh, okay.
And so if you don't have a relationship with them, I can go to anybody. And yeah, principals get mad at that. The worst kid, I can go ask for their cell phone. They put it in my hand. They trust me. I'm going to give it back. I don't want this. I'm not trying to cause harm, but I need you to stay out of trouble. And I'm very real with my students. So if you come in there, you can be tough. You can be hard. But if you don't have any love, then they don't feel it, and they don't believe you really there for them, then it does nothing.
Well, I remember when I was at Antioch, I got to speaking, like 4 boys walked up to me, and they said, "Can I have your autograph?" I was like, "I'm nobody, just a normal guy." And he said, "Man, what you said spoke to my heart." And when I was because I was real with him, and that taught me then that, hey, you can have an influence on a kid's life.
They want structure, but they didn't do it in front of everybody, did they?
No, they waited till after class.
Right. And that's what I tell teachers all the time. If you got to chastise a kid, if you had to get on them, one-on-one. Yeah. Because the same energy you give is the same energy they're going to give back. Yeah. So now, when I have that one, and I'm building this relationship, and I correct you privately, you'd be surprised how many kids that come up to you. I have females that come up to me. They'll call me. They'll say certain things. I think I might be pregnant. I think you got to be that safe space for kids. And even if you don't want to hear it, I got to be that safe space, and I have to do what I say I'm going to do. So if I tell you in my classroom, everybody's safe, that we don't mess with anybody, I got your back. If you come and tell me I'm going to do something about it, and then you come tell me I don't do anything about it, they have a problem.
I know I got to wrap this up. How many in your 24 years, how many girls did you see come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm pregnant, I don't know what to do," and stuff like that?
Man, I've had some of the girls come, they pregnant, or I think some ain't right, this and that, baby, you have an STD, we need to get you to the clinic. And we can be liable for so many things, but they got to have that safe space, a person that can talk to.
Dang, that's messed up.
We had a little girl, we stayed, I'm not going to say the school, was acting a fool, and she stayed and said, we trying to figure out why is she doing this. I'm tired of my mama's boyfriend touching me. We reported it. Yes, she's a troublemaker. Yes, she gets in trouble. We can't do anything. And by the time you get to a certain age, we got to call mobile crisis. Do you know for mobile crisis, you got to get the parent permission? Dang. But guess who the problem is?
The parent.
The parent.
So you had a girl, man, tell you.
We called DCS. We staying late. We waiting on the police, and there was nothing we can do. What do you think they did with her? They sent her back home. What can I do? Cried all night, but what can I do? I got to fix myself up and get back in there. I used to tell people, I'm not Jesus. I can't go after the one and leave the 99. Yeah. But I found myself all the time going after the one, but not leaving the 99. I got to steal.
Here's the thing. I applaud you for all the work you've done. I ain't know none of this about you. I ain't know this about you.
Let me tell you something.
I didn't know a lot of these things about you.
I'm the begging teacher. You ain't never noticed that on social media?
No.
I'm always asking for something for kids.
You know what? I try to limit social media mainly because I'm a hermit again. I don't like seeing people problems. So when I see on Facebook and there's somebody fussing about something, I told my barber this. He got mad at me yesterday. I said Facebook and Instagram Reels really messed me up because I didn't know people was living like this. I really didn't know. And people think I'm making all this stuff up. I didn't really get on social media until I started the business. My youngest brother he's an IT tech. No social media. I wanted to live a private life away from problems. I didn't want really be around people because I know how people operated, and I just wanted to stay just me, my wife, my kids, and that's it. And I say this, I close. God didn't open no doors for no jobs for me. And I went to TSU, went to Trevecca, tried to go in training development, and wanted to travel. No doors open for me. Only one offered me a job was Trevecca, and only one off. TD Jake says nobody ever offer you a job. Create your own job. And so my mom told me, you love teaching and training. Won't you teach these boys how to be men? Won't you do that? And once I did that, I started showing my father. Actually, my work anniversary was last Thursday. It was this past Thursday of 10 years.
Congratulations.
And I broke down because I've seen a lot in 10 years that have really changed my life. It opened me up to stuff that I really didn't realize was out here.
Well, I want to challenge you for something.
Go ahead.
And it don't have to be the means of social media.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to make sure you know what's going on so you can relate. If I'm noticing my girls and my boys, if you don't relate, I didn't grow up in the hood.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up that way. They would think I did. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I try to stay abreast of what's going on so I can empathize with you and understand your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because if they feel like you don't get it, you never had that, you never lived like that, you don't know what I'm talking about, you didn't gang bang, your mama went on crack, you don't understand. So guess what? What you saying to me is nothing. Yeah. And I feel like we can miss some kids because we're just not aware. I've been out of the classroom, this is going to be my 3rd year, and I feel like I'm digressing, like I've lost so much because they kept me. Yeah, kept me going. Even with music, anything, they kept me going so I would know how to relate. I didn't mind making a fool out of myself from my kids. Show me that dance. I'm out trying to dance, trying to do stuff. You'll see video of me and pep rallies doing stuff. I'm going to be that teacher so I can keep you here in my pocket so I can relate. Yeah. So when you do go through something and you come to talk to me, you feel comfortable. I'm not that bougie teacher, honey. I don't know anything about I'm a real teacher. And a true story, no, I didn't go through any kind of molestation. I didn't have that kind of things going on in my life. I didn't. But you feel comfortable enough to know that I understand and I'm going to try to find those resources for you. I have to know what's going on in the world, and means social media has helped me. I found guns in schools because my kids trust me, that they friend me, that I see lives riding around. They got their gun, they riding around, they robbing cars. I had to go to a principal one time. That was last night. Guaranteed that gun is in our building. They had to call, dogs, run. There you go. They have no clue that's Miss Kidd. That's the one. Because not only what I told you, I'm going after you, but I still got to protect that 99 too. So if this gun come in this building, I love you and I want you protected. But I got to protect them too. That's
why I say I applaud you, man. I just didn't really see the world. I didn't see the world until Instagram Reels and all that, and it just really messed me up where I really wanted to be isolated.
And I need you to get your son out more. You gotta I'm being so serious because I'm a CBIP.
I don't know what you mean by get him out.
Teacher. I don't know. CBIP. And when I'm telling you, nobody's gonna love him like you, and you're not guaranteed to be here for him.
That's true.
I need you to teach him how to seek in other people or how to trust, because you know that's a thing too, essentially, and they're not in the social skills and to pick up and to know this is a man you can trust. Do you have a list if this happens? Do you know how to survive if anything happened? Can you make it?
I'm beginning to teach him how to cook a little bit, but I don't. I haven't. And I know, Jim, we got to close. I haven't. As a dad, found a way to allow anybody to get close to my kids.
I'm going to mentor you. I'm your mentor now. We're going to have conversations after this. We're going to mentor.
This is another. My boy gonna hear this. He gonna say, "Mark, this is another therapy session for you." Because these podcasts end up being therapy sessions for me for some reason. I don't know why, and I know the next guest is gonna be the same way. It's that I'm just that way. I feel like my friend told me. He said, "Do not allow your past hurts to destroy your son." Don't allow your past hurt to destroy your son. So anything I sense that happened to me in the past that could possibly happen to him, I make sure he's not around it. I just make sure that all the time, like I'm like a zombie all the time. Like, what you listening to? Like, we riding in the car and he has his headphone. What you listening to? Dad, I'm listening to some jazz like you. Okay, be sure you listen to that. Or I said, what song's that? Let me hear it. You know, it's like everything I'm doing, I'm trying to be sure that I'm protecting him. But I know we got to go. We gonna do a part 2, Jim. I got to bring her back for part 2 for my counseling session.
Oh, we're gonna have a counseling session.
But what we leave?
I'm putting you on my calendar.
What's one tip? School starts back in 2 weeks. One tip would you get parents to do to prepare for this school year? And we'll close out on this.
I need parents to get to know who their child is in front of every day.
Okay.
Know who those adults are in that building, because truth of the matter, everybody don't have your child back. Everybody is not there for your child.
Wow.
And so I need you to, first of all, know your child.
Mm-hmm.
Know your children's verbiage. So when they call you and say, Johnny said this, you know he said that, he did that. Okay, I can handle that. Don't be so defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Be a partner. Work with the school. Be a team. Ask the school, what do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Because our teachers are getting beat up every day. And you might be the parent to catch it because of what they've been through. And our teachers, they catch it from the top and the bottom. They catching it from the kids, and they catching it from administration coming down, and they're that middle person. Be their partner, and together. It takes all of us to educate the child.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, thank you so much, Felicia, coming on, and thank you for my second or third podcast where I have a counseling session. Hey, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please listen to this episode and previous episodes by visiting my website at strongerthanmyfather.org and hit the subscribe button. We need you to subscribe to this podcast, and if you want to leave a donation to help us continue to pay for these podcasts, because they're not cheap. So thank you so much for listening. God bless you. Stay safe. See you on another episode.